Welcome to another edition of the Solid Sports Video Blog, another NFL Roundabout Division special. Today's date is July 14th, 2023. I'm Troy West here with you once again. And today's division we will be covering is the NFC North. Thank you so much for watching the Solid Sports Gaming channel. Thank you for the support lately. Been up and down this week. The subscribers were down and the views were down. I don't know what happened, but hopefully maybe we'll have a better week. But other than that, everything's fine. Thank you guys for joining me today, this morning. Like I said, a little late than normal. Like I said, I usually already have it done. It's just after 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern on the East Coast where I am. So thank you guys so much. But like I said, we're covering the NFC North today. No other major sports news to talk about. Baseball just started their second half. No NBA news really. So we can focus on today's show. We got the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings we're going to be talking about today. Thank you guys so much, like I said, for being here. So we got we're halfway done. Yeah, we'll be halfway done next week as we go. The AFC North show is going to be a great show because I'm gonna have someone with me. Well, it's via on the phone, but a coworker of mine that's a Steelers fan and I'm a Ravens fan, as you guys know if y'all been watching the show long enough. So that's going to be a fun show. Well, I ain't gonna guarantee it. You know, he a young kid, got things going on, so hopefully he'll be available. So I'm not going to guarantee it, but hopefully that'll be the show next week. But let's focus on this week. This division definitely is interested as well because, you know, Aaron Rodgers is gone, so the Packers is not like that. Well, at least for questions, well, at the least the Packers got questions. But we're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers. We're going to talk about all the teams here. But this division sort of wide open. You know, this division you don't really know who's going to emerge. I got a team that I like the most, but I don't know are they ready yet. So things can happen. This division could be probably one of the divisions that you don't know who's going to emerge in. So, but of course, as always, we go in alphabetical order. So this is no, like I said, no order. Predictions. Like I said, I'm gonna do a prediction show, so I really get my predictions then. Even though I be hitting my predictions when I talk on these things, but so this is no prediction show. This is just to touch on all four teams, give you my overall outlook. We're gonna look at their schedule as well. Let's see, how maybe they got a path of doing something or not. So the first team up is the Chicago Bears. Of course, we're going by alphabetical order. The Bears had a rough season last year. Just finished 3-14. Justin Fields had a good year, especially on the ground. I believe he broke some records running the football on the ground. Passing game didn't come along, but he was a threat on the ground. And I think that one of the biggest questions is, can he take the next step and really be an all-around quarterback? I believe so. I see them a lot at Ohio State. I like this game. I just think if the Bears surround him well, I think he could do well. DJ Moore pickup was big. The backfield is not too bad. So offense, they all right. Maybe got to improve the offensive line a little bit. Defensively, still have some holes there. But I think the Bears ain't. I mean, because the NFC is so so wide open. I think they have a chance to maybe sneak and maybe compete for a wild card spot. I ain't gonna dismiss them right now. And my next question over here was, can they surprise people? I think, like I said, maybe they can. Like I said, only teams in the NFC you're really sure about is really the Eagles. Even the Niners, a lot of people was on the Niners, but who their quarterback's going to be, that's going to matter. Even though they're deep everywhere else, if the quarterback ain't right, none of that's going to really matter too much. I mean, yeah, they'll still be competitive, but I mean, that will stop them eventually if the quarterback ain't right. Brock Purdy had a great year. They say he's on schedule to make it. Maybe he might be the week 1 starter. The trade last day, they got to do something about that, but we'll talk about that another time when we get to that division. That's something they got to figure out. But that's why, I can't really stand 100% behind the Niners. And everybody said Dallas, but Dallas have holes, especially on the offensive side. So even though the defense is pretty much stout, but offensively they still got holes there. So really the only team that really is going to be something is the Philadelphia Eagles. So pretty much, we can maybe sneak in and at least get a wild card. I don't think the Bears are good enough to win this division yet, but I think they are in the right direction. I will say that. Let's look at their schedule, see what they got going on this season. But they're a young team as well, But like I said, I believe in Justin Fields. I heard after this season, I don't want to say reports, but people just say, well, should they already move on, this and that? No, the Bears. Well, the Bears is one of those teams, so you can name a few. That's just they just haven't hit on the quarterback right. And then you got the Packers in this division that's hit on the quarterback right. Like they had a quarterback for the last 30 years, which I want to talk about when I get to Green Bay. But let's pull up the Bears schedule. Sorry about the delay. Let me make sure I hit my controller. Last week we had a little snafu with the playroom, which I'm recording on. Okay, let's get to the Bears. Okay, so I already see week 1 they play Green Bay. So I picked the wrong team. Okay. Now that I'm here, it shouldn't take so long the next time. Excuse me. So I mentioned they play the Packers first at home. That's their opening game. Then they go to Tampa, and Tampa got questions. Now no Brady's there. Then go to Kansas City. That's the tough one, obviously. Then they get Denver at home. Then they go to Washington. I'm gonna say a Thursday night game. It's on Prime Video. Get Minnesota at home. Then get the Raiders at home as well. Then it's a Sunday night game at LA Chargers. Then at the Saints. Then another Thursday night game at Carolina, so you get to see the young kid. Also, I think Ohio State quarterback, so that's probably why they set that up. At Detroit. Then a Monday night game at Minnesota. Then again go against the Bears. Go against the Lions again. So they play the Lions in I think they got a bye because it's like 2 weeks back, but they play the Lions pretty quickly back to back. Then at Cleveland, and then get Arizona at home. Also Atlanta at home, and then the final game against Green Bay. So they play Green Bay week 1, and then they play Green Bay week 18. So, and that's in Green Bay, the final game. So not a brutal schedule. They got Kansas City, which is, you gotta say the best team right now in the NFL. The defending champions, but other than that, other than the division games and the out of division games is not that bad. Like I said, maybe if you're a Bears fan, let's see the beginning of the schedule. I say don't get, if they could beat Green Bay week 1, which is possible, then they got if they get the first 2, they most likely go lose to Kansas City in week 3. But if they get them first 2, maybe win it. They could probably win it. They probably go 4-1 in their first 5 games because they got Washington, And Denver, like I said, Denver, like, only why I'm giving Denver some respect because, like I said, I respect Russell Wilson, but it's possible they could go 4-1. They might lose to Kansas City and win the rest of these games, get off to a good start. So the Bears, I see a path, or maybe they can surprise, maybe be a team in the NFC, at least for a playoff spot. So we'll see about the Bears. Very interesting team to look out for this year. Like I said, I like Justin Fields, so and I heard some experts say they could be a surprise this year. So it would shock me if the Bears, even like I said, if they go 4-1 these first 5 games, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, because I'm talking about it now. I just looked at the schedule. So and the rest of the schedule, the back end is not bad. So we'll see. So Bears fans, keep yourselves calm. Even if they go 4-1, just don't get too ahead of yourselves here. But I think they have a chance to at least be a playoff team this year, being how the NFC is. So alright, our next team to talk about, the Detroit Lions. I'm excited to talk about because I think this might be their time, at least to win this division. I'm not going to say to win a championship now, but to win this division, I think they have a real shot. I like their team. I like the direction they're going. They finally got a culture there, and I think that matters. That they have identity now, sort of who they are somewhat. Like I said, I was so down on Jared Goff after he before he even left LA with Detroit. Excuse me, I thought he was just gonna fade out, but he's proven me wrong. Lions had a winning season, probably for the first time in a while, 9-8. That game against Green Bay to end the season, that was a huge win to me. That showed a lot of guts. That showed that this team is for real. They're not a mat to step on anymore. So I really like this team a lot, and I think they could be a surprise, even though some people see them coming, but really be a real contender in the NFC. Speaking of that, are they I wrote here, are they ready to take over the division? I think they are, but only thing you're skeptical of, only thing I'm skeptical of is their history. Like, the Lions just never really, you gotta go back to the Barry Sanders days, and even then, they didn't do too well. So I believe so. Like, I pretty much hit it. Like I said, I just hit it. I think, to me, this is their chance to win this division. I'm gonna just put it like this. I like this team out of all of the teams in this division. I like this team the most. Minnesota, which we're gonna talk about, in Green Bay, they lost a lot of big pieces, so I think they braced them back. Detroit was already sort of there last year. Minnesota, people say they benefited from their schedule, and like I said, schedule matters, and who you play matters. All that stuff matters. But I think if you win 13 games, no matter what your schedule is, I think you're a pretty decent team. So I really gave them a shot last year, but them losing Dalvin Cook, to me, that hurts more than they leading on, than the media leading on. I think that hurts them. Kirk Cousins, which is a steady quarterback, but he has his flaws as well. So but for the Lions, I think this is their shot. I'm sort of behind Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is legit, so I think they can do something this year. Coach Campbell, everybody laughed at him. Coach Campbell, in his first press conference, talking about we're gonna people joke. I mean, I got what he was saying. And all these coach speeches sometimes be over the top. Basically, the paraphrase, he was like, basically, we're gonna get knocked down, we're gonna keep getting back up. But that's what you tell people in life and all that stuff. And that's how, like, since then, I think this is his 3rd year there. Last year you saw that, like, they fight to the end. And Jared Goff, got to see, like, he got a chip on his shoulder. How he left the Rams. You know, they basically traded him for Matthew. Well, basically, Matthew Stafford got traded out for him. So, and they had a better record last year than the Rams did. Rams did with a championship. But you know, I liked where the Lions going. The Rams, like I said, we'll talk about them when we get to the NFC West. But they got a lot of question marks. Matthew Stafford, people saying, is he done? You know, so. And Coach Campbell, he set a culture. He set a culture here. And I think the Lions, they play for him. You can tell how they play, that they believe in the regime there. So, and like I said, Jared Goff, I've been apologizing to him right every time I talk about the Lions, because I just thought he was just a system guy. And there's nothing wrong with being a system quarterback, but I just thought that he leaned too much. You know, it said like without Sean McVay, he was nothing. But that's not true. He definitely proved me wrong, especially last year. Even the first year in Detroit, he played pretty decently. He played pretty well last year. So I think it's the Lions' time to win the division. I'm gonna keep it at that. I'm not gonna set the expectations too high. But the thing is, every time throughout the years you get this team some type of expectations, they don't meet them. But that's history. So and the way Mr. Coach Campbell is, at least how I feel it from afar, from the outside looking in, I don't think he's gonna let his team fall for that. So I really like Detroit this year. Let's look at their schedule. Sorry everybody, it got me again. I wish it was a way I just be forgetting. I need to put my controller on my lap, cause I gotta, like, basically if it sits too long, the controller cuts off. So if I don't press a button or anything, then it cuts off. So sorry again, this happens every week. Every week this happens. Alright, we should be fine now. I just gotta, if I ever put it here, so hopefully it'll remind me to press a button. Alright, let's pull out the Lions schedule. Sorry about the delay. When I get into my bag, oh well, I don't want to say into my bag, but when I watch YouTube too much. When I start the ranting, I be forgetting things. Okay, so probably everybody knows they play the defending champion Chiefs on a Thursday night to be open the season, September 7th. So that's the first game for the Lions this year. Which to me, somebody also got high expectations of, like, why the Lions would be the first, even though the schedule makes itself, but why would they put put the Lions and the Chiefs on a open at night? That's, but I think that's saying, and I think, now I'm not saying Detroit will win this game, but I think they're gonna play well. I think Mr. Campbell gonna have them ready. I think that's gonna be a good game. Kansas City 7-point favorites though, but I think it's gonna be closer a little bit. I think it's gonna be a close game. Then Seattle comes to Detroit. Seattle was a surprise last year. Can they build on it? Then Atlanta comes to Detroit as well. Then they get the Packers on a Thursday night the next week. Carolina, a lot of people get behind them Panthers, so Lions get them at home as well. Then they have Tampa Bay and Tampa. Then they get the Baltimore Ravens, Ravens fan, in Baltimore. That should be a fun game. Then get the Vegas Raiders at home. Then they go to LA, go against the Chargers. Then they play the Bears for the first time at home. Then they get Green Bay. That's the annual Thanksgiving game at home, of course. Then in New Orleans the next week. Then at Chicago. Then they get the Denver Broncos. then at Minnesota, at Dallas. That's a Monday night game. And then the final week, they get Minnesota again. So that, like I said, not too hard of a schedule. You know, they play the AFC. Do they play the AFC West? No. So they play. Yeah, they play the AFC West. So not a daunting schedule. Like I said, I could see 10 or more wins maybe for the Lions. But don't want to set the bar too high. But I really think they can win this division this year. I really do. I really believe in the Lions. Like I said, I give a formal prediction show later on, and maybe a month or so, closer to the season. But I really think they can win this division. I really do. All right, so let's move on. We got the Green Bay Packers on the docket now. Like I said, it's definitely a new Packers team. No Aaron Rodgers for the first time in a long time. And then they had Brett Favre for all those years. So it's like, even though they traded for Favre, they actually drafted Aaron Rodgers. But still, to have a quarterback for that long, since, like I said, 30 years. Since I think Favre got to the Packers, 92, 93? So, it's been 30 years. They had a steady quarterback. They was competitive every year because you had a quarterback. But they only have 2 Super Bowls to show for it after 30 years. Which I guess is not bad, unless you compare them to the Patriots. It's not bad. But, yeah, so, definitely, a new era in Green Bay. Jordan Love, is he the answer? Reports saying yes. And some reports are saying no. They saying that he's still got some ways to go. But I guess we'll see. Even though preseason has its, like in any sport, preseason is sort of not a bar setter, but you kind of want to have some good vibes going into the regular season. So I would like to see how much he plays in the preseason. I think that tells us a lot too. If he plays a lot, then I think maybe Green Bay still think he needs more reps and stuff like that. If he don't play as much, maybe the Packers believe he's, so all this stuff is gonna come out in about a month or so. So we'll see. But I don't really, I haven't seen him, so I can't really say, all right, he's the answer. He's not the answer either. I'm just gonna assume, even though Aaron Rodgers wasn't like, he put his arm around his shoulder. There was reports about that he ain't really mentor him. But just being around a good quarterback, I'd imagine he learned something from him. And in the few times he's played, he didn't look too bad. Like last year, they thought that he should have played. The rest of it was Green Bay. They got off to that slow start, and still had the chance to make the playoffs. And the Detroit loss eliminated them, but they thought he should have played. Like pretty much the second half of the season. Aaron Rodgers didn't go for that. Then he wound up leaving. So this is his chance. I think let's see if he can grasp the opportunity and still keep the Packers relevant, and that's going to be the biggest question there. Where do they stand? I mean, like I said, with the NFC being wide open, like I said about Chicago, we're gonna look at their schedule. What I said about the Bears, I like, really, like I said, other than the Eagles, every team have question marks. Like every team in this conference, not just this division. So, even Detroit, I feel good about the Lions, but like I said, they're the Lions, and they do have a little bit of flaws, So, maybe if Jordan Love is decent, of course the Packers could compete for at least a wild card spot, or maybe this division. Like I said, to me, this division is sort of wide open itself. So, I don't think you can just dismiss the Packers because Aaron Rodgers gone. We don't know about Jordan Love, and that's pretty much the biggest question. But still a steady team. Steady team around. The defense not too bad. The offense. Aaron Jones is still there, and he's back. I have seen him back. Jordan Love a lot. So let's see what they got. I mean, it's a show me league in the NFL. So let's see. Let the Packers show us. I'm not going to dismiss them like their season is over already. So we have to see about Green Bay. So let's check out their schedule then. At Chicago to start the season, we said that because we already looked over the Bears. At Atlanta the next week, then against the Saints at home. Saints is interesting. I can't wait to talk about the NFC South as well. Detroit on a Thursday night at home. Then at Vegas, that's a Monday night game. At Denver. Then they get Minnesota at home. LA Rams at home. Then they go to Pittsburgh. LA Chargers come to the Green Bay. Then at Detroit, that's the Thanksgiving game, just we already mentioned. Then Sunday night game, Chiefs come to Green Bay. At the Giants, that's a Monday night game. Tampa comes to Green Bay. Then they go to Carolina. Then at Minnesota. Then they end the season with the Chicago Bears. So again, not a too tough schedule. Jordan Love is a decent quarterback. Maybe Green Bay could be a team compete for a wild card spot. I'm not, or maybe, like I said, maybe this division. I'm even going to say the Bears. I don't think like these two teams. I don't think so. I think if I had to rank the teams, I would say Detroit, Minnesota. I take Chicago over Green Bay because I kind of know more about Justin Fields. So I would have Green Bay as maybe finish it last, but I think they have a chance. Like, this division is wide open. It really is. So, but I will rank the Packers under everyone in this division, but I don't think that dismisses them from competing. I think they can. If Jordan Love is decent, they might could do something here. So. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the Minnesota Vikings. Won the division last year, 13-4. I was still backing them. A lot of people was calling them fraudulent, which they was right about. Lost the opening round to the New York Giants, which I was shocked. I thought they was going to beat the Giants. I thought maybe the next round they probably was going to lose. I think they would have to go to San Francisco or somewhere, or Philly. One of those two teams was waiting on them. So, but the turnover of the roster to me is the Dalvin Cook thing. Like I said, I know he's a running back. I know how you can just plug in somebody. They can still be somewhat productive and not lose too much. But I think that move hurts. Can somebody help out Justin Jefferson? Even though he's an outstanding receiver. Kirk Cousins, everybody know he got his ceiling. So it's a lot of questions about this team. What direction, you don't know what direction they're moving in now. Sort of in purgatory to me. So we'll see how they go. But like I said, I'm gonna say this like I said about the other teams in the NFC. You just never know. The Eagles are the mountaintop. It's on the mountaintop. I mean, that's just clear. The Eagles are the team in this conference. But everybody else, even the Niners, like a lot of people would have thrown the Niners with the Eagles, but you have to separate them because of the quarterback. So at least the Vikings got that. They got the quarterbacks together. Even though it's Kirk Cousins, you can argue how good or bad he is or whatever, but he's decent. As long as you don't turn the ball over, which he's done. Last year, even though he didn't, he just did it at the wrong times. I mean, overall, he didn't turn the ball over last year, and that's why they probably won a lot of games. But the games that they lost, or the games that was a question, it was because he turned the ball over most of the time. So we'll see about the Vikings. I think they have a shot though. I mean, they got a quarterback, so well, you can say that. You definitely got a shot. And like I said, I started to like this team. Justin Jefferson, like I said, he's like, to me, you got to put him in the top 5 receivers. You could probably argue that he's the best in the NFL. Him and Jamar Chase, they're young, both with the LSU, by the way. I mean, it's just unbelievable how they find themselves, like, and they get doubled or triple teamed. And you see some of the catches Justin Jefferson made last year with triple teams on them and stuff like that. So this kid is unbelievable. So with that combination, defense got to improve. Defense took a step back. I was really shocked by the defense. So let's see if the defense can take a step forward. Vikings, yeah, they compete for a wild card spot. But let's look at their schedule real quick, and then we can wrap it up and get out of here. Okay, they start the season with Tampa at home. Then they go to Philadelphia. That's a Thursday night game, so quick turnaround. Then the Chargers come to Minnesota. Then at the Carolina Panthers. Then they get the Chiefs at home. At the Bears for the first time. Then they get the 49ers. It's a Monday night game. At Green Bay. At Atlanta. Then they get the New Orleans Saints at home. Then they go to Denver. That's a Sunday night game. Then another primetime game against the Bears, a Monday nighter. Then at Vegas. Then speaking of those two receivers, they'll be on the same field at Cincinnati. At Detroit comes in Minnesota. Then they get Green Bay as a Sunday night game, and then they finish the season with the Lions. So a lot of division games on the back end, but once again, like I said about everybody else's schedule in this division, not too bad. Maybe, like I said, this is a wide open division. So, and they just won it last year. So, and they got the experience. They got the quarterback with the most, with some experience. I'm gonna say the most, because him and Jared Goff pretty much had the same experience, but the thing about the Bears and the Packers is, the experience. Even though Justin Fields, this will be his second year, but Jordan Love, this is pretty much, you want to call it his rookie year, because it's his first time playing. So that's why those two teams, you sort of, they could do something, but you just don't know. The Lions, like I said, just because the history, but I think this is probably the best. If you're a Lions fan, it's probably the best you felt about your team in years, in a long time. And the Vikings, like I said, they've been, everybody's been under Green Bay, but the Vikings has been, if you had to say, been also consistent. This division is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but I really like the Lions in this division, though. I really do. I think they will at least get a wild card. If they don't win it, but I think they still really be a strong wild card team. So, all right. So we was able to get through this division. Like I said, next week is the AFC North. Should be a lot of fun. Me being a Ravens fan, I'm excited about that next week. Hopefully my buddy was able to get on with us. So we have two thoughts next week about that. So. Matter of fact, when I talked to him, I'm gonna ask him, I remind him again that this week is coming. Hopefully he'll be able to get on. He had a little accident at work, cut himself yesterday. So hopefully he's good. I haven't talked to him today yet. But that's our show for this week. Just some quick thoughts. Of course, it's the weekend, so I'm gonna try to kick out a lot of videos. I think I'm gonna set this video up. I'm gonna do another Hades Aftermath video. That's the first video I'm gonna do today, other than this one. We're gonna play Crash Bash. I'm thinking it's old school Crash Team Rumble. Of course, we got the Zap mode weekend going, so we're definitely gonna play that. Probably go live with that later on. I want to wash clothes today. I really do. I might do that. It's just that I don't have no key, so I don't want to leave and wind up getting stuck out the house. So that's honestly why I don't want to go. But other than that, we have a lot of content today. More Sonic Origins. I'm trying to finish the Sonic 2 part because I'm at the final stage there, so I might try to finish that today. But thank you guys so much for y'all support. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I had my days when I'm down. Well, my Facebook is on my about page on my YouTube, so you can reach out to me on Facebook. But I put up some stuff out of emotion. I took them down. It's just been rough. Life is rough. That's why I try to talk to younger people. Like I said, I'll be 40 this year. I tell younger people, definitely get your life straight early. Because if you don't, you could be like me. And you don't want to be like me, trust me. And that's a whole other story for another day. But that's basically, just got a lot of things on my mind. But I thank you guys for the support always. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're fans of any of these teams, I think every team is division. I think fans gotta be at least a little excited this year. Even like I said, even the Bears and the Packers. The Packers, you would think these are Aaron Rodgers. You'd be a little down, and I would be as a Packers fan. But now we get to see Jordan Love finally. Bears, like I said, can Justin Fields improve his game? Vikings fans, I mean, you should feel good about your team, but at the same time, do y'all have a ceiling? Like, y'all keep hitting your head on the ceiling. Do y'all need a change? Maybe that's coming soon, we don't know. And then Detroit, like I said, if you're a Lions fan, it's probably the best you felt in a long time about your team. So should be an interesting division. Like I said, I give my formal predictions right before the season. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Thanks so much for the support lately. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna put out some videos today, so just look out. And I appreciate you guys so much for joining me today. Have a good weekend. Stay cool, because it's hot on the East Coast, I know that. So I know it's about to be hot in other places. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Troy West signing off. Next week, AFC North. Should be a fun show next week. And thank you guys for watching. I'm Troy West saying thank you so much. Thank you for watching the Solid Sports Gaming channel. Thank you for watching another edition of the Solid Sports Video Blog, episode 235. And that will do it. Thanks so much. Peace and love.